Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. A bit of a late one today, but let's get through it. Let's discuss what has happened throughout the day. The latest on Sesko, Rodrygo, the latest on Lewis Kelly, Martinelli, Mosquera. Let's get through it without wasting any time at all. Let's start with Benjamin Sesko. According to Sport Build, RB Leipzig have lowered the asking price for Benjamin Sesko with 70 million euros and additional bonuses now more realistic. The German side want a deal sooner rather than later so that they can act in the transfer market. So the 70 million euros is 59 million pounds, the one that is on the thumbnail. So I think, again, I do think Arsenal really want Sesko more than they want Gyökeres, but it's going to come down to money. I think Arsenal are looking for a deal of somewhere between 50 to 58 million around there, and then plus add-ons for later on. So if Sesko's deal turns out to be, they're happy to accept 59 million and then add-ons later, Arsenal will definitely push harder for Sesko. But if that's not the case, I think Arsenal are happy to still continue waiting. I don't think they have to get the deal done before preseason starts, but I think Arsenal are still playing that game of chicken and hoping and waiting and knowing that Leipzig and Sporting are both going to decrease the prices of their players. And maybe Andrea Bat is thinking, hey, why should we pay 80 million when I'm sure we can end up paying 50 million plus add-ons? Because at this point, we are desperate for a striker, but maybe they don't want to show that, although everyone really knows that you're desperate for a striker, but they don't want to make it that obvious. They want Leipzig to be the ones who are desperate to sell Sesko because they need the money, and they want also Sporting to be desperate to also sell Gyökeres because time is moving, and maybe they're not going to agree on anything, and Gyökeres is pushing for a move and all that. I think that is the case. I think Arsenal is waiting for one of the teams to budge a little bit, and we're going to go for the one that is going to be cheaper and it's going to be an easier deal to make. I think if both players were 50 million pounds, Arsenal will definitely go for Sesko. But if Gyökeres was 50 and Sesko 60, I think Arsenal would go for Gyökeres. I don't even think it would be it needs to be a big difference between the two prices, and I think Arsenal will feel like the one that is cheaper is easier to do. Let's go for them. So hopefully, though, now that you're going into July, I think deals are going to start happening now. Over the next 2 weeks, I think it's going to be really busy. We're going to hear several announcements. We're going to hear other bids for Mosquera if we haven't signed him by then. We're going to see, all the medicals and all that, and players coming back to preseason training, and players like Partey departing because now you're going to be heading into July. Maybe we'll have a better picture of where players like Trossard and Martinelli are going to end up, or if they're going to stay, what the contract situation is with players like Saka, all that. So I think it's definitely going to be busy. But Sport Build have said that Sesko's price has dropped to 70 million and additional bonuses. Now it's more realistic. So I think if that is the case, I think from Monday we'll start hearing more, unless we hear more on the Sunday. Usually it's a bit quiet on the Sunday. So let's see what happens from Monday, obviously heading into July. Let's see what happens. So next up, let's talk about Rodrygo. This is the latest on Rodrygo. This came out an hour ago from The Athletic. Arsenal are convinced they could offer Rodrygo a Sporting project where he could be at ease, playing at left wing with freedom. The Gunners are now prepared to wait to determine Rodrygo's situation, but are mindful they cannot wait indefinitely. So, yeah, that is a problem. So if we already had wingers to play and we were comfortable with the wingers that we have, and we are looking at Rodrygo as an option, to strengthen our team completely and take us to the next level, but you were happy with the wingers that we have already, then you could afford to wait for Rodrygo until the end of July or something. But because, we've seen how crucial it is to be ready for the start of the season, and the fact that the fixtures came out and you have all those teams in the first 6 weeks, 7 weeks of the season, there's literally no time to waste at all. We cannot wait to make signings on September 1st. It just can't happen, because by then it could have already gone wrong. There's a big chance if you mess up, you could easily drop points to Man United and worse, lose to Liverpool. And by the time you go into match day 4, you're already 6 points behind Liverpool. That would be disastrous. Even if it's so early in the season, we've seen you cannot say, oh, it's so early in the season, there's still time. No, the moment those teams get 6 points ahead of you, even if it's in August, it's going to take a lot of time to catch up with them, and it's going to be pressure right from day one. Double pressure. I think there's still pressure for next season, but if you end up losing like two of the first three games, there's going to be double pressure, triple the pressure by the time you go into September and you're going to start chasing, and these other teams are strengthened. It's going to be difficult. So you have to get your signings correct by July. So the problem with Rodrygo, the ball is not in our court. Even if we went and offered them right now 80 million, 90 million, we don't know if Rodrygo wants to leave. Even if we go and we tell Rodrygo we're going to pay you 400,000 a week, we are not sure if Real Madrid want to sell him. So we have to wait until after the Club World Cup, and I feel like Real Madrid are going to progress further and further into the competition. So it is a waiting game with that. So we can do either two things. Either we continue focusing on the other deals, get the other deals done, striker, all the others, Mendy, complete all these other deals, and then maybe in the middle of July you try and push again for Rodrygo. If it can't happen, you go for someone else. But the problem with that as well is preseason gets closer, and the other players in the market are not going to sit there and wait for you. That is literally the problem. So you're not going to just come back and find Eze is there waiting for you, or come back and find Leao is there waiting for you, or come back and find Lookman is there waiting for you. No, that is not going to be the case. So you have to really decide who you want to go for. If you feel like Rodrygo is too much of a waiting game, you just go right now and you say, Eze, you know what, let's get you right now. We'll try Rodrygo when he's confirmed that he wants to move. So I think that is going to be the case. I don't think you're going to wait for too long. Arsenal are convinced they could offer Rodrygo a sporting project. I think if you'd want to live there, we'd convince him to join Arsenal. But the question is, does he want to move from there, or does he want to stay there? So that is a problem. Now, Rodrygo could have been a potential replacement for Martinelli from what we've been hearing the last 1 month. Rodrygo in, potentially Martinelli out. So what's the latest on Martinelli? So according to Ben Jacobs, Gabriel Martinelli has been discussed as a potential option for Al Nassr. However, Luis Diaz remains their top target. Now, do I think Martinelli would want to go there right now? I don't think so. I think you would, even if you'd leave Arsenal, you'd want to go to like a Spain or an Italy to, teams would want him. I'm sure teams would want him, maybe Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and AC Milan, Juventus, teams would want him. So I don't think you'd like just go to Saudi Arabia right now. Although it's an option. You never know as well. You never know what a player is thinking. They could just offer him right now 500,000 per week, and 3 times, 4 times the money is getting paid at Arsenal. And you can decide, hey, let me go there for 2 years, sort out my family, and then I can come back to Europe because I'm still young, because Martinelli is still young. He still has more than 10 years to go in his career, maybe even 15. So still very, very young. But for me, I want Martinelli to stay. I want Trossard to stay. I want us to bring, someone like a Rodrygo and Eze, have many options in the team. That is what I want. And if you let go of Martinelli and you don't sign Rodrygo, you don't sign Leao, and you sign Eze and Martinelli are very different players. So that what you're getting from Martinelli in terms of pacing behind and coming back and defending and all that, you lose all that, and you wouldn't have anyone else who can do that, because Trossard is not that kind of player. Saka is not that kind of player. Eze is not that kind of player. So you'll miss what Martinelli offers you in terms of running in behind and the very, very quick pace and all that, and coming back and defending and helping out the left back. You wouldn't have that option. So I want us to have all of those options. Have the Eze who can cut in and, shoot the ball and create chances and play 3-4 different positions up front. Have the profile of a striker up front who can play, just number 9 throughout. Have that option of a player who can play as a number 9, maybe as a wing as well, as a false 9. Also have that option of a midfielder who can also play as a right back. Have that option of a centre back who can also play at left back. I want different options, different roles for different players. And winger, Trossard is a different player from Martinelli, all different players from what you'd get from Rodrygo and Eze. So unless if you're getting Rodrygo or Leao, then maybe it's closer to Martinelli than what Eze is close to Martinelli. So we'd be missing something. They would be missing a profile if you let go of Martinelli and get Eze. Would be very happy with signing Eze and what he'd bring, but you'd lose something with Martinelli there. So I would like both of them to be in the team at the same time, or both of them to be at us at the same time. Whenever game we're playing, we can use different options. So let's see what happens with Martinelli. He was also linked to Barcelona, I think Bayern Munich too. Bayern Munich also want him. Cristhian Mosquera, what's the latest on him? We made a bid for him the other day. It was rejected. According to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal's initial bid for Cristhian Mosquera was lower than the 19 million euros and served only to open talks. The Gunners are hopeful to close the deal at around 20 million, 25 million euros. So around 17 million pounds there, 18, 19 million pounds around there, and already have the green light from the player. So the player wants to join Arsenal. We made the first bid, like a testing bid to just open the talks. I don't think Valencia will go higher than that. So I think it's going to be done very, very quickly. So I think like by the start of next week, our second bid will be up, and we've already decided on the plan. We'll get the player as quickly as possible. And by July 5th or July 10th, I'd say we'd have the 4 players already announced. I don't know if it's going to be 5 by then or 6 by then, but I think the Mosquera deal will progress as quickly as possible. We'll get the backup there because it's a cheap deal to do, and he wants to join us to make things easy. And Valencia want to sell players. They've not been in a great position, both in terms of performances in the league over the last couple of years and financially. So it would be easier to get this deal done because he also wants to join us. So it's going to take up to 20 million euros. I think the second bid will be around maybe 19 million euros. Then maybe that will be rejected as well. And then maybe we'll just go ahead with the third bid as quickly as possible to just get it done, especially if there's any other team that comes in for him. I think that is what is going to happen. But I'm confident that one will be our fourth signing of the transfer window. And then let's finalize with this one on Lewis Kelly. According to The Athletic, Miles Lewis Kelly has great respect for Mikel Arteta as well as enormous gratitude. Arteta instigated the positional switch to left back and has accelerated his development. Lewis Kelly recognizes the faith Arteta placed in him and is determined to repay it. There was also another one saying he decided to keep his shirt number, the 49, because he loves that number. He didn't want to upgrade on that number. Fair enough. It's been absolutely fantastic for us. I cannot wait to see what more he offers in our team next season. Is he going to still be playing left back more times or every single time, or is he going to be playing midfield a few other times? Are we going to end up seeing him at right back a few games? Could we see him, as a number 8 in a few games? Really excited to see how Miles Lewis Kelly does for us next season. All congratulations to him for signing that new deal. He absolutely deserves it, and deciding to stay to us. No, you never know. Not everyone will just decide to stay. Someone can just say, hey, let me go to Real Madrid because they want me. So that's the latest today on Sesko, Martinelli, and Mosquera, Rodrygo, and Lewis Kelly. Hopefully we do hear some progress on something tomorrow, or if not, if that's not the case, I think from Monday it's going to be busier because we're going to go into 30th, and then 1st of July is here, and then I expect a lot of deals to get done because preseason is about to start very, very soon, and competitions are now, ending. The under-21 Euros has ended today. England has won it, and we are now heading into the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup in a few days. So the competitions are starting to end. So preseason is about to roll up, and yeah, it's time to get serious once again. So let's see how it goes. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next